Melbourne bans the unvaccinated. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another quick live stream. And I want to talk about something I just discovered about Melbourne City Council pretty much banning the unvaccinated, including staff, contractors, and visitors from any of their facilities. Now, I'm just doing this as a quick live stream. I'll chop it up and edit it to get it on YouTube, but all of you who are watching will be able to take part in the discussion. I've literally just finished painting and applying a whole lot of stripper, so I'm jumping in here and discovered this article that we have to have a look at, or this statement. So, statement from the City of Melbourne CEO, Justin Hannay. Okay, and this was a media statement released yesterday. So, the past 18 months have been incredibly difficult for all of us, and have tested the resilience of our city like never before. We believe that COVID-19 vaccination is the best way to reopen our city while protecting the health, safety, and well-being of our staff and our broader community. Our people have overwhelmingly told us they agree. Now, before all of the Americans start freaking out and going crazy, guys, you've got to understand this is our California. Melbourne, Victoria is our California. It's a very left-leaning city. They have a green mayor. Yeah, they're left-leaning. So they're kind of getting what they're deserving. So, in line with Victoria's roadmap, from Friday, the 5th of November, all staff, contractors, and visitors. So contractors. So if I was working on a job for council, if I had to go out and do a point cloud scan, would I need to prove that I'm vaccinated? I mean, I am. I'm not worried about it. I honestly think the media has done more damage to this than anything else with a lot of the fear and the hype that they're putting out there. They're really blowing a lot of stuff out of proportion. But is this what we want? Is this how you're going to encourage people who are hesitant, who are afraid, who are probably concerned because we've been fed so much bullshit from our health professionals and experts over all of our lives? Just look at the dietary guidelines, and then you won't be shocked at all why people are hesitant to believe the experts. Anyway, back to this. And visitors. So does that mean children as well, everyone? Does that mean children as well? Oh, boy. Attending City of Melbourne operated facilities must be fully vaccinated. So let's just jump here and have a look at the City of Melbourne. Once this loads up, this will show you a map. So this is the City of Melbourne. So you've got the Docklands, you've got Western Melbourne, you've got the city there, you've got East Melbourne, Carlton. There you go. So any of the facilities in here run by the City of Council will need to be, you'll need to be double vaxxed. So how are you going to prove it? Are they going to bring in vaccine passports? Or what will happen? I suspect it's just going to be compliance. It's going to be like the cash ban, where people will just be expected to comply and put up with it. Because that's the Australian way, guys. That's the Australian way. So vaccination will be required to enter any City of Melbourne site, including libraries. So kids going? What about children going to libraries? Recreation centres. Oh, fantastic. So they're going to make it harder for people to get healthy. Community facilities and administration offices, including town hall. As we continue to provide essential services and support our community, we want to ensure the City of Melbourne is a safe and healthy place to work, and our facilities remain safe places to visit. This is a complex decision that we have not made lightly, and we're currently working through the next steps. The City of Melbourne's vaccination approach does not apply to those with a valid medical exemption. So those of you who have a medical exemption, you don't need to, well, I guess you probably need to carry around your little medical exemption to prove it. So, I mean, this is Melbourne City, but it's not only Melbourne. We also see it happening in places like Medibank Private. You can understand they're a healthcare provider, and I'm sure a lot of their staff already have it, but they've implemented it too. And SPC tried to push it forward, and more companies are pushing it forward. But it feels very, very authoritarian, guys, doesn't it? It really does. Hang on, So, moving on from that, let's get to the discussion part of the show. Let's talk about... So John is saying, stop paying rates and cancel fines. Yeah, but the problem is they'll go after you then. They will go after you then. You said Victoria is 88% first jab, so I think the people have the ropes. Little resistance. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Most people want to. Most people aren't worried. But so, if you've got a minority, do you really want to isolate them? Is that going to be something that will encourage them to participate? Free thought domain. If Queensland goes this way, I'm leaving. Well, if Queensland goes this way, I'll be taking the kids to everything. Here in Queensland, we are not as restricted as other states, guys. Melbourne and Victoria are pretty harsh, and they're bringing more and more of these restrictions and these limitations. Ben thinks all states will follow. Intellectualer says if you attempt to pay and they refuse it, they'll have a hard time getting a judgment after that. This is an absolute joke for what has come out of that federal law. I mean, you've got to remember as well, Victoria has a human rights bill, and we went through that right back at the beginning when all of this was happening here on the channel. We went through the whole thing, and it didn't really... All it meant was a bunch of paperwork that our politicians had to do in order to change all the rules and ignore all of the rights that they'd given us. So it all went out the window. Murray's asking if city centres are necessary in an online world. Well, what about going to a park? What about if you take your children to the park? I mean, it will bring this up here. I mean, look at all the facilities here. What if you want to go to a library? What if you want to go to the footy? What if you want to take the kids to JJ Holland Park or park? They're necessary. City centres aren't necessary. Online, don't get me wrong, it's great. You can meet a lot of people, but I mean, this is just... It's taking it to another step. Uncommon sense. I don't think Queensland will be as easy to roll over as Victorians. Hopefully not, but I mean, there you go. Victoria is a very left-leaning state, although how many left Labor Party how many Labor premiers have we voted in here in Queensland? Let's hope the extension of emergency powers doesn't go ahead. I believe all this nonsense ends. We'll have to see. I think they will. Marco is leaving. Where are you going, Marco? Pretty soon Melbourne will ban people without boosters. We'll have to see what happens, everyone. I mean, this is the thing. It's just getting to a point where I think people are starting to see the reality of the country that we live in. I think people are starting to be woken up politically and realize how much power and authority we've handed over to our political leaders. How much we've acquiesced. She'll be right, mate. I mean, she will be right, but you're giving up a lot of your rights for that. Honestly, though I have been disappointed many of my fellow citizens have accepted this, my grandparents' generation wouldn't have put up with this. We'll have to see. So, highly taxed nanny state. Johnny has it right. That's Australia. You like to tell people tell the others what to do, how to restrict their rights. You can't even do what you want on your own land. There's so many rules and regulations in Australia. A lot of people would be shocked, particularly foreigners, Europeans when they come over here, Americans when they come over here. They think Australia is so laid back. It's not. It is not at all. And that's how we are, guys. It's just gotten this way. What's happened? Has there been a cultural shift here in Australia? Is it just... I'm trying to think back to the 80s and 90s. Was it always that way? I mean, think about it. If you paid taxes to use these facilities, if you're a Melbourne citizen, you're just barred from using it. Or even if you're vaccinated, then what, do you have to show your status? You have to prove it to use the facilities you've paid for? Isn't the intent to keep this medical information private so people aren't discriminated against? That's the problem. Shazbot19 is asking, is it easy for Australians to get American citizenship? I doubt it. I seriously doubt it. But then again, I don't know. I haven't looked at it. I can't go anywhere. I'm staying here forever. So it changed in 96. Just thinks. We'll have to see. We all moved to the city, perhaps. It's a given states will follow, not enough people will push back. Well, no, I mean, here's the thing. You'll get to a point where so many people are vaccinated that no one cares. That no one will care. Hopefully they'll get rid of this. Hopefully this will only be a temporary measure and it won't be long term. You'll have staff that are frustrated. Okay, Yogi Bear is telling us how to get into America. You need a company to support your green card application. So how many people want to get to America, guys? It's all illegal. Anyone with half a brain must realize that it's an assault on your freedom and rights. No, they've taken our rights away. They've adjusted that. They've got around the Human Rights Charter Act that they have in Victoria. It's fine. It's all legal. Welcome to Australia, mate. That's it. We're not America. I may take up the Polish offer of asylum the way the country is heading. Even if things reverse, I may still leave. I think there are going to be some people, particularly, well, some Eastern Europeans or people who have come from more authoritarian countries that won't feel happy here ever again. There's going to be some people that the shine of Australia has worn off, the fantasy that they have in their head has disappeared, and no matter what happens, even if it does go back to normal, and I think it will, I think you'll see at the next election there'll be a drastic shift to more liberty-focused politicians across the spectrum, but there'll still be some people that have lost the shine of this country. There certainly will be some. Shazbots wanting asylum in other countries. I don't think you can get it, not from Australia, not what's happening here. It's not as, as crazy. Always hold on to your second passport. See, I was screwed by that. If I was born 1 year younger than I was, I could have dual Austrian, Australian citizenship. Couldn't get it. Oh well. But then again, is Austria much better than Australia at the moment? Russia will give you asylum. But then you got to learn Russian. I think my father learned some Russian. I know some swearing in Russian, but that was because he grew up in East Berlin. Project Veritas. I haven't looked at their stuff about this, but I don't think it's as explosive as people realize. Johnny G doesn't like plant-based. We have to be open to our plant-based cousins so we can help steer them towards the carnivore path. Then it's the best way to health and freedom. Ben thinks it's to get rid of the middle class. We'll have to see. Russia's easy to get into. And nothing's going to normal once China's Evergrande crisis plays out. Our money will be more of a problem. We'll have to see. I don't know if it's going to affect Australia as much as people realize. Why did ScoMo say it wouldn't be mandatory, yet all states are doing this? Technically, it's not. It's not for everyone, but businesses are choosing to make it. Here's the other argument. Should businesses be allowed to be able to discriminate against anyone who they want? Should they be allowed? Why not? And then let the market sort it out. But the problem is these are government facilities that we're all forced to pay into, every landholder. JB's asking if I'm vaxxed. Yeah, I'm vaxxed. I got double Pfizer, nothing happened. Momentum, hi guys, I just joined the live. What have I missed? What's happened is, actually I'll show you here, Melbourne has banned, essentially requires vaccination from the 5th of November for staff, contractors and visitors to any City of Melbourne facilities. That's what you missed. Thanks. How are they going to police this? That hasn't been clearly said in the media announcement that we got. Honestly, I think it'll just be compliance. Microchip in your head. Yeah, come on. Don't be so stupid. If that existed, they'd be selling it at a product. Okay? People will happily inject shit in their bodies just so they can, tap into a train faster. If they could do it, they control things. You kidding? Musk would be trying to sell that to no ends. We're not as advanced as some people hope, sadly. Momentum got his second Pfizer. You may get a bit tired, but other than that, see if you can milk it for some sympathy, because some people think it's really tough. So guys, thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and enjoy the content that I put together here, there are a few ways you can help out. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. SelfWealth is great because we each get 5 free share trades, and I'm using it to dollar cost average into a whole bunch of little shares. You can also support us by signing up for Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.